In the dead of night, a dark scheme was unraveling in Nigeria's shadows, woven by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, billionaire Aliko Dangote, and oil tycoon Adedeji Adeleke. These men, once only seeking wealth, had now crossed a threshold few dared approach. Their conspiracy wasn't just about fuel prices or CNG plants, it was a pact made with an ancient, unseen darkness buried beneath Nigeria's soil. The people didn't know it, but they were fueling not just vehicles but a dark hunger that had taken root in the land. It started innocently enough, or so it seemed. Petrol prices soared, forcing Nigerians into desperation. The government conveniently championed CNG as a cleaner, affordable solution, but it wasn't. Hidden behind layers of offshore accounts and shell companies, the trio owned the CNG plants, stations that hummed in the night, eerily aglow, feeding not only the gas lines but something far more sinister. The first signs of horror crept up quietly. Workers at these stations began to change, skin growing pallid, eyes lifeless. They no longer spoke, only moved like puppets in a trance. And the fuel itself? Those who filled their tanks with CNG soon heard unsettling whispers echo from their engines, voices calling them by name, pulling them to dark, unknown places. People reported seeing twisted faces in rearview mirrors, dark shapes trailing behind them, their eyes glowing with a haunting, inhuman hunger. Strange things began happening in homes powered by CNG generators, too. Lights flickered, shadows stretched long into the night, crawling along walls as if alive. Children woke up trembling, claiming figures with melting faces stood at the foot of their beds, mouths open in a silent scream, whispering promises of endless suffering. The families who tried to escape found themselves drawn back, trapped in the spider's web spun by these three men and the darkness they served. Neighbors went looking and found nothing but silence, meals untouched, the air heavy and thick, the only clue faint, oily footprints leading away from each home toward the towering CNG plants. Those brave enough to venture near the plants late at night spoke of hearing low, guttural wails, screams that seemed to rise from the ground itself, as if the very earth was in torment. And beneath the city, far below the ground, the truth lay waiting. Deep in tunnels and caverns, the three men had built a shrine, a place where the souls of the missing were dragged, bodies twisted into unrecognizable forms, eyes wide and mouths stretched in endless, silent horror. Each one, an offering to the dark entity they served. And it was growing stronger. Dangote was the first to feel its wrath. He awoke one night to find his room drenched in black oil, thick and foul, oozing up to cover his body. He struggled, gasping, but the oil poured down his throat, his screams muffled, his last vision the twisted, tormented faces of the countless souls he had sacrificed. Adeleke was next, sealed in his mansion surrounded by guards, yet the shadows found him. They slipped through every crack and crevice, coiling around him, squeezing until his life slipped away. They found him in the morning, his face frozen in terror, eyes wide and mouth open in a silent scream. And last was Tinubu, the mastermind. He sat alone, piles of money and power surrounding him, when he felt a hand, cold as death, on his shoulder. He turned and saw the entity, a shifting, writhing darkness, its eyes glowing like 1,000 dead souls. It spoke his name in a voice like acid, and he felt its breath burning his skin. With a voice of anguish, it whispered, "You thought you could control me. But now, you will serve me. Forever." Tinubu was dragged, screaming, into the darkness, lost to the very void he had awakened. The CNG plants still stand, glowing faintly in the night, casting shadows that stretch unnaturally far. Nigerians continue to line up, unaware of the evil they feed with every drop. The darkness is spreading, and soon, there will be no one left to stop it.
There is nothing we can't make scary.